So this gorgeous little girl is Bonnie. She's 6 months old, new student today. So Bonnie, a bit full on at 6 months old. She's just starting to really question everything, see what she can and can't get away with. Basically looking for who's in control and who's not. And up to now, she has been in control. The walks have been very difficult. They've not looked pretty, they've not been pleasant. She's been pulling like a train. She's up on her back legs when she sees other people and other dogs. And it's been a little bit stressful. She hasn't been off lead playing with other dogs because there's no control there, and the owners, quite rightly have been protective of that and trying to make sure we get a little bit of control going on before she's just off lead on a standard walk. She plays with her brother and it gets rough and it gets crazy in the house. So on the consultation I advised how to structure the walk and improve that, the boundaries to put in place in the house and how to address her with your body language, and things are vastly improving. There's still a few little areas that we've gone over this morning and I can see where it's going wrong, so we've addressed that again. And basically it's not about tricks, okay? So even though Bonnie's very good and she'll take the command of sit and she'll sit and wait at the door when a visitor's there, she's looking for that opportunity to dash past her owner and control that doorway. So by teaching the dog to do a little trick and sit down isn't actually addressing the doorway. You've got to do it with your body language. So I went over that and explained that again with her owner. And what's also happened because of that behaviour at the doorway, is when it's come to putting the lead on to control that movement and calm it all down, Bonnie's now got wise to that. She'll get told off in a minute by Eva. Bonnie's now got wise to that, and it's now turned into a bit of a problem getting the lead on, to the point where the owner's been chasing around the house to get the lead on. The last thing you do is chase the dog, all right? Less is more. Stand still, wait it out. Okay, it's a battle of minds, and it's just a short moment in time. If you resort to chasing the dog and quickly grabbing the dog, you are, in their eyes, being very reactive, and that's not leadership qualities. So you're going to lose all the hard work you've done. So again, went over that, and rather than 15 minutes of running around the house trying to get the lead on, we had about 5 minutes of very calm battle of wills, mind games, just 5 minutes, and then she just sat down, showed submission, we got the lead on. So when a dog sits down of its own accord, that is a submissive position. I want the dog to do that on its own, not when I give it the order, because that's just a trick. In any kind of situation, I need the dog to do that on its own. If I want tricks and agility and that kind of thing, then that's what I'll do. But when we're dealing with pack dynamics and general day-to-day behaviour, using your voice and lots of different commands and treats, it will work against you. So anyway, this morning was a walk with Rio. Rio will acknowledge that she's a pup, and he won't necessarily play with her, but he will certainly tell her what's right and wrong. So that's what we had this morning. And he was very, very patient with her, again, because he knows she's a pup. Once the dog gets to 7 months old, they lose that puppy scent, starts to go, and they'll get treated differently. So now is the time for her to learn all of this and socialise. So she did that with Rio this morning. We also met up with Bramble, the greyhound. And Bramble's not particularly fussy about having dogs around him, so he had a couple of little snaps at her as well. Absolutely great. This is all the language that they need, okay? So she learnt from that. Then we headed home. She had to be hosed down, so she had a wash. I say hosed down, she was washed with nice warm water. And then in the garden, because she's a pup, I don't need to sort of concentrate on the pack walk to get them all together. I can get away with that with just walking through the house and through the garden with her on a lead and having the others sniffer and judge what's what. So I didn't need to do the pack walk. So she's had a couple of hours at home, and I've gone over behaviour within the house, behaviour with the other dogs, and basically got her listening. So that's been really good, and now I've come out with all of these. So this is a whole different ballgame to what she experienced this morning. So it was interesting to see who she would gravitate to, because that tells me a lot about how her mind's working. And she's not sort of getting all soft with Roscoe like a lot of youngsters do. So she's not insecure. She's not exactly into the real rough play, let's just be crazy idiots with Frank. The one she's spending more time with is Eva. Now Eva's very no nonsense. She'll run fast, she's very businesslike, and she's a thinker. And that's who Bonnie's teaming up with more than anything. So that kind of tells me that Bonnie's very similar. She's a thinker, she's clever, and if you don't show her quite clearly and calmly who's in charge, then she will assume that she's got to make those decisions herself, and that's what we don't want. So as you can see, the socialisation today is the main thing, just getting her used to being around dogs so that when she sees other dogs, it's not such this great big exciting experience. It's getting her used to other dogs, being around other dogs, and just desensitising from that crazy excitement when she sees other dogs on a walk. And she's doing great, really good. Okay. Good. She's even keeping her attention on me, even with the others around, and that's what you want. That's really good. That's an intelligent little girl there. Good.